Hey there, and welcome back to Podcasting for Financial Professionals. I'm Virginia Elder, your host and founder of Podcast Abundance, the leading provider of podcast production services for business owners who want to get more visible, increase their authority, and generate real leads with podcasting. This is the final episode in our 2025 Summer Minisode series, and I've got to say, every single one of these short, smart, to-the-point episodes is packed with helpful, doable ways to improve your podcast and the content you're creating. Today, we're pulling a clip from way back in the archives. Yes, another one. Over 60 episodes ago, when this show was still called Reaching Abundance. My guest was Stefanie Gonzales, the founder of Women's Wealth Effect. At the time, she was living in Lisbon, while most of her clients and audience were back in the States. So she had to figure out how to be seen and heard without working at midnight her time or living on Zoom. What Stefanie said here isn't just smart, it creates sustainability for all of us within our businesses when we can implement something similar to what she did. She found a way to create FaceTime with her audience using short, intentional videos that worked around her schedule, not the other way around. Stick with me here to hear the strategy, and then I'll show you how to apply it in your own business using podcasting and recorded content to reach your ideal clients 24/7 without burning out. Let's roll the clip.
One of the things that comes to mind for me, and maybe I learned this because we were in Portugal and the timepiece was such an important part. A very specific example, I don't do webinars at like 7:30 p.m. CST. That'd be midnight my time, right? So if I can't do that, if I can't have my face live with people for an hour or 2 hours to have them get to know me even more, like and trust me even more, etc., I have to figure out how to get my personality, my perspective, my everything, right, in front of a client as much as possible. So one very specific example that, we worked through on this was when I was thinking of my lead magnet. One of them, I have like 3. I could have done a PDF, like download this PDF and here's all this stuff that you can learn, for free. But I created a free video mini course because that was an opportunity for me to get my face literally in front of a client, right? And it's a 30-minute mini course. It's 6 modules. Each video is less than 5 minutes. Quite frankly, they're like 2.5 to 3 minutes each module, right? And I did that with purpose because if I couldn't do the webinar, let me do this, right? A more natural and longer form content. That worked out great. And now I'm building my email list. I'm building more trust. I'm building more credibility. And, that thing will continue to evolve. But that's the decision between PDF and a video content element. So I say this because I think video, high quality video, is really important. Walk around. Everyone's doing this. They're making decisions every minute of their day on their phone, on social, reading an article, whatever. And the more that you can either get your face in front of people, real interaction, or give them different mediums too. Audio, the podcast piece is a big component of the strategy there, right? And even if you're doing podcasting, doing video with the podcasting, kill 2 birds with 1 stone, right? The way that we've created this space is we try to create it like you're in our living room. We're talking together. And I got a lot of feedback on that when I did my Career Effects series, where I would bring women to talk about their careers and their personal lives. And I had a couple instances where these women were in Lisbon, so I brought them to my apartment. And we set up the whole thing. And the feedback I would get from people was like, I love this format because I feel like I'm there with you guys in the conversation, right? So think about, obviously Oprah built a huge following, right? With just her talk show. How are you creating a space where people want to come, if you're using video, where people want to come and be in the room with you?
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I look at it now as a digital remote business owner who's not in the US all the time to go interact with clients.
Okay. How smart is that? Stefanie's approach to content is not only strategic, it's sustainable. She knew she couldn't be live all the time, and instead of letting that be a limitation, she turned it into a creative opportunity. Here's what I want you to notice from what she shared. She chose video, not a PDF, because she wanted to create real FaceTime with her audience. Eye contact, tone, energy, that's what builds trust. She made it short, intentionally, 6 videos, all under 5 minutes, easy for her to create, easy for her audience to watch. She did it one time, and now it works for her all around the clock, anytime, while she's sleeping. That's the kind of content that compounds over time. If you're a financial professional who's tired of the Zoom grind or constantly being on call, this is your solution. Recorded content like video and podcasting gives your audience that in the room connection without you having to show up live every time. Let's explore how you can use this exact mindset to create content that builds trust, builds your list, and builds a sense of presence, even while you're offline. In fact, I'm helping a client do something very similar right now. She's been going live every single week. Wow. Inside her paid membership group for the past 8 months. No missed weeks, no skipped sessions, no breaks, even on vacation. It's been absolutely relentless. And recently, she's admitted she's exhausted. Here's the thing, her content is solid. Her members are loyal. They are paying to be a part of this membership. But the pressure to be live every single week is starting to cost her time, energy, and honestly, her creativity is slipping. So now we are shifting her approach. We're recording a private podcast series to replace at least one of those weekly live sessions per month. This lets her stay visible and deliver real value on her terms, while she regains the flexibility to rest, travel, and even plan ahead on the week when this private podcast episode drops in her membership rather than her going live. Here's what this means for you. You don't have to be on all the time to show up for your audience. You don't have to wait for the perfect schedule match or burn the midnight oil to build trust. You can create intentional, evergreen content that works while you rest and still deepens the relationship with your ideal clients. Now, let's get into the actual data, why this works, and what the latest trends say about how modern consumers prefer to engage with content. Spoiler alert, it's not live events or PDFs. According to Deloitte's 2025 Digital Media Trends Report, the way people consume content has shifted hard toward creators and away from traditional formats. Here's what this means and why it applies to you. More than half of Gen Z and millennials say they feel a stronger personal connection to creators than to actors or TV personalities. So gone are the days where we wish we could be on TV and I wish I could be that celebrity, right? Their attraction now is to creators like you and I. These same groups, so Gen Zs and millennials, are spending over 50 minutes, 50, more per day on social media and user-generated content than they are on traditional entertainment. So way less TV and way more phones, basically. And here's the kicker. Digital entertainment options are expanding, but time and attention aren't. So the content that's relevant, flexible, and immediately accessible wins. No longer are people willing to wait for their weekly show at 7 p.m. on Wednesday so they can make sure they're on the couch at that time. No, nobody does that anymore. They want that on demand, immediate search, hit play, boom, I get to listen to what I want, flexibility. So, what does this have to do with your business, your podcast, and especially with what Stefanie did in her business by creating a video series lead magnet or mini course for her audience? Everything. Because podcasting or mini courses, especially when paired with video, is creator content. When you publish thoughtful, pre recorded segments, solo or with guests, your audience can see you, hear you, and build that relationship with you on their time. You're no longer limited by time zones, your energy levels, or even your calendar. And the beauty of it, every single piece that you publish becomes an asset. You can turn it into reels. You can turn it into an email. You can turn it into podcast episodes if that's not what you were initially creating. You can repurpose it into a blog post. It can be chopped up and cut into a video course. Every single piece of that then creates a deeper touch point with someone who might hire you. So one recording can turn into 10, 15, 20 things, and every single one of those things is a potential touch point with your face and your voice reaching a person. Now that you've heard what's possible, let's talk about how you can actually do this in your own business. Here are 3 practical steps to start creating face to camera, connection rich content that works around the clock, not just when you're online. For one, you want to pick your primary platform. Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to create a free e-course like Stefanie did? That's basically is a lead magnet, but it also educates them and brings them into your business's ecosystem. Are you creating a podcast? Are you publishing on YouTube? Are these videos going to be inside your private membership that is building a paid community for you? Where is this going to go and what's it for? What's the purpose? You want to choose your platform that you want to build that connection on. So, for example, if you're already hosting a podcast, make sure you're recording in video. You're sitting in front of the mic anyways. Just get a camera in front of you and go ahead and capture that video. You add a 30-second intro before each episode where you speak directly into the camera, just like you would in a Zoom meeting with a client. That's where you establish your hook, who the episode is for, and why they want to stick around. The second step is to record a welcome series or a video lead magnet. Whatever it is that you're doing, you're going to record it. This is where Stefanie's strategy really shines. Instead of another boring PDF, recording a mini series or a 3-part welcome video as people are finding your business. Those are all going to be very helpful. Just like Stefanie said, keep each video under 5 minutes, record with a high quality camera, and walk your viewer through a small transformation or lesson that will lead them toward doing bigger business with you. It could even be a video on your intake page, for example. 3 things I wish every in parentheses, client, so financial professional knew before their first call. or before their discovery call. That could be what your initial video is about on your homepage. Every single one of these tactics allows viewers to meet you, doing the air quotes with my hand here. They get to meet you ahead of time. This reduces the scariness of interacting with someone they found online, and it makes you more relatable since they've already seen your face and heard your voice before. The third tip here is to batch your creation. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say, look at what I'm doing. I did my makeup, I did my hair, I've got a cute shirt on, I've got jewelry, I'm ready to go. So I am recording multiple pieces of video content today. And this is the same thing that I guide clients to do. So you're going to choose one recording day, have your outlines or scripts or everything prepared so that you know what you're talking about. You know the topic and the ideal audience, and all of your CTAs and interviews are scheduled ahead of time. And you're going to knock out 3 to 5 short videos in one sitting. Then from there, you've got all your recordings. Congratulations. Tomorrow you don't have to wear makeup, right? So then you're going to plug them into your email sequence, your podcast, your call booking sequence, or as bonus content inside your program. So you can use any of these examples that I've shared with you, either from my client or from Stefanie or from what I do, and implement that in your business and create these different video components in all of these areas so that your potential clients or someone who discovers you gets that FaceTime feel right away in your business. And remember, your voice, your face, your story, you don't have to be live to make an impact. So webinars are awesome, but pre-recorded content often delivers a more premium, refined experience because you've outlined it, scripted it, potentially edited it. And so it's a lot cleaner and clearer for that ideal person. Another big tip here is to use these videos you're creating to replace a currently live component of your work week. So if you are doing, like my current client is, where they're showing up live every single week and getting exhausted, do some pre-recording and put that in place where people would normally be looking for your live. But again, you can take that week off. So works beautifully and creates sustainability for you as the creator. So by doing this, you're not skipping or disregarding connection. You're just doing it on your terms. If realizing that there are components of your work day or your work week or your work month that are live and require your energy, time, and face on camera that could be replaced with recorded content, I hope this episode helped you breathe a little easier and helped you realize that you don't always have to be live or quote unquote on to be available and to establish connection with the people that you want to attract in your business. So I want you to take that relief and take action with it. The smartest way to track the ripple effects of any recorded content is with the podcast ROI tracker. It's a free tool I created to help you put real numbers on what you're building. Every speaking invite, referral, podcast guest request, backlink, or client that says, I found you through your podcast, that's ROI. And I want you to be able to see it and feel it and for it to be tangible on a spreadsheet. You're going to find the link to the ROI tracker on my website at podcastabundance.com/ROI-tracker. That link will be in the show notes for you to click on so you don't have to remember where the dashes and slashes go. I totally get it. So using that ROI tracker, though, consistently will help you make better decisions as your show and your business grow. So make sure you grab hold of that and you see all the opportunity you have in your business to track ROI because of one or two pieces of recorded content or 100 episodes later, right? So, huge thanks before we go to Stefanie Gonzales of Women's Wealth Effect for the mic drop moment that she provided at the beginning of this episode that inspired this quick little lesson for you today. Her full interview from back in 2024, when the show was still called Reaching Abundance, is linked in the show notes if you want to hear more of her story, her global perspective, and the way she's built a brand that's both grounded and magnetic. Whether this is the first mini-sode you've caught or the fourth, I hope this series has helped you see that long-term success in podcasting isn't just about flashy tricks. It's about structure, intention, sustainability. If you're ready to build a show that supports your goals, works with your energy, and grows your business 24/7, let's talk. You can always book a free consult with me at talktovirginia.com. Thanks for being here. And hey, if you're listening after hours while your clients are sleeping, or maybe before they're even awake, just know your future clients might be doing the same thing with your podcast one day soon. Now that this mini-series is over, we're returning to an every other week cadence with fresh interviews and solo episodes like this one, sprinkled in here or there. I will see you again in 2 weeks. Take care.